The Great British Sewing Bee crowns a worthy winner in an emotional final. BBC One's good-natured competition rarely surprises, but skill, spirit and human drama draw you in. The Labour deputy leadership race isn't the only all-female contest in town. The grand final of the Great British Sewing Bee, BBC One, was also a women-only affair. At least they were fighting it out for the coveted title of Britain's best home sew, rather than the thankless task of making excuses for Sir Keir Starmer's government. I'd rather stitch my fingers together with my mother's old Singer machine. After 10 weeks, 30 challenges, thousands of pins and even more stitches, 12 gifted amateurs had been trimmed down to 3 with a pair of pinking shears. A closely matched trio strode into Leeds' Sunny Bank textile mill. Scientist Yasmin from Gateshead was hitting form at the right time with her heartfelt designs. Student Órla from Inverness, still only 19, specialised in eye-catching and witty clothes. At the other end of the age scale was retired Keir from Staffordshire, probably the best all-round seamstress. Who would prevail as they did battle over bobbins and buttonholes. Each came from a different generation but bonded over the same shared passion. There was such warm camaraderie between them that you got the impression they'd be equally happy whoever won. Well, almost. It made for a joyful and uplifting finale. She might have only started sewing 4 years ago, but Órla got her nose in front with the pattern challenge, creating a deceptively difficult bias-cut slip dress. Keir's prayer to Clotho, the sewing god, was answered and she bounced back in the transformation challenge, miraculously turning a see-through raincoat into a monochrome 80s-style frock. Presenter Sarah Pascoe, who is set to be replaced by Sophie will land next series, flung puns around like Mel and Sue in their soggy-bottomed pomp. Judges Esme Young and Patrick Grant, who in last week's semi-final, greeted a retro sailor's suit with the killer line, "If I was a 1920s lesbian, this is what I'd be wearing," peered at pleats and tutted at hems. Young casually dropped in a boast about how she'd made the red pajamas and bunny girl costume for Bridget Jones's diary. She omitted to mention whether she was responsible for the big knickers, too. As always, it all came down to the showstopper, sorry, wrong contest, the made-to-measure round of Trump LOL illusion dresses. Órla ingeniously used pool noodles for a playful frock which appeared plain black from the front but exploded into rainbow colors from the side. Yasmin's chic gown had a hidden shirt and tie in tribute to her late father's love of smart tailoring. She wasted an hour by putting the collar on the wrong way around but somehow salvaged it. Yet there was a clear and utterly worthy winner. Keir had open-heart surgery 4 years ago, an experience which inspired her structured dress with external ribcage and beating red heart. It was a feat of engineering, beautifully finished and hailed by Grant as a masterpiece. The fact that it was proudly modelled by her daughter Florence and dedicated to the NHS made it all the more emotionally potent. As Keir triumphed and clutched everyone in a group hug, it took a heart of stone not to find something in one's eye. Yes, the narrative beats of these contests are all too familiar now, but it's nigh on impossible not to get drawn in by the skill, spirit, and human drama. It's just a shame that for the past 3 weeks, Sewing Bee has been scheduled against its similarly formatted sister show, The Great British Bake Off, over on Channel 4. Both contests are made by Love Productions. One would imagine there's a large overlap in potential viewership. Modern TV technology means this is less of a problem than it would have been in the pre-VCR era, but it still feels like an oversight. So there.